The summer of Brad continues, my friends. It's Nick Alberga and Zack Phillips to break down a trade here involving the Maple Leafs and the Utah Mammoth. The Maple Leafs have acquired Matias Maccelli in exchange for a conditional third-round pick. What do you make of that, Zack?
I mean, we kind of went into this offseason thinking that they were going to try to make most of their moves or additions in the trade market. We had Pagnotta came on the show. You and I were talking with him about like what is out there, who are the kind of guys that you're going to be targeting, and is like, well, there's not much on the free agent list, so you're going to have to get creative and you're going to have to find them elsewhere. And the other part of this is if you're looking at this from a Leafs lens, you kind of need to go and find guys that maybe you're going to be taking a chance on. Maybe it's the guy before he's the guy. It's the Sam Bennett when he was in Calgary before he became Sam Bennett when he got to Florida. I'm not saying that Matias Maccelli like overnight turns into some amazing player when he joins the Maple Leafs, but obviously we saw it tweeted out there after this trade goes down. It looks like the Leafs are looking at having Maccelli join in your top six. And coming off a tough year last year, as you had put out there, 8 goals, 10 assists, 55 games played, but he had seasons prior to where he had 49 points. He had 57 points. Like, this is a guy with some upside. You're taking a chance on conditional third-round pick. Like, I think this is a great ad by Brad Treliving, and also Pagnotta had reported there as well. He wanted out. He asked for a trade out of Utah. New opportunity for him, fresh landscape. I think this is some good work by Brad Treliving.
So weirdly enough, I watch a lot of Utah hockey and before that Arizona, and it's funny, like this guy is like the left-handed Mitch Marner. I'm not going to compare the two, but when he's playing well, he's buzzing. He's quick. He's a really good playmaker. What do we know about this guy? He's 24. He's Finnish. I think ideally you want him in your middle six. Like they're going to say the top six right now, but if it's a third line, you're sitting pretty. I think it's a low risk, high reward type move. You just mentioned the numbers, RFA next summer. He's got some experience at the NHL level. And quite frankly, Zach, I think it's a buy low. Like you just talked about. It wasn't good last year, but 2 years ago, close to 60 points, close to 20 goals. And I think you made a really, really elite point there, man. The fact that you need to find the next guy before he is the next guy. I think Maccelli's the perfect example of that type of player where you've seen it in the past. Now a change of scenery. Now the potential of playing with some really high-powered studs like Nylander and Austin Matthews. I mean, who knows? Maybe he gets some power play time. Like, I think from that aspect too, it's a win.
Yeah, and like you're not asking Maccelli to come here to Toronto and now all of a sudden be the replacement for Mitch Marner's points. Like, oh no, we lost Mitch Marner. Well, this 24-year-old kid who's making $3.4 million, guess what, buddy? You got to be the guy to score 99, 100, 102 points this year. No, you're not. If he can come here and he can put up 60, 65, maybe he has a real good year, he puts up 70, like that's a good spot for you. That's filling these holes that you have where it's like build it in the aggregate. Okay, you lost the point production from one guy here. Well, you just re-signed Matthew Nyes, you brought back John Tavares. You're getting good contracts on those. Now let's filter in the rest of the pieces that are at $3 million, $4 million, $5 million. And if he plays to his potential and what we think he can bring here, if he actually does hit at his ceiling, this could be a guy who just finds a nice spot on that second line alongside maybe it's John Tavares if he stays there, as you said, William Nylander, and just is able to put up points. Like, you're getting a guy here where if he puts up 40 points this year, yeah, it's probably a little underwhelming, but 40 points for $3.425 million in a new landscape where we're watching the cap rise every single day. Looks like in like 3 years, we could be talking about $118 million cap. Like, this is a good contract, even if it ends up being like, well, he didn't do that much for us, and he fit on the third line. Okay,
I like,
is what
yeah.
it is.
Yeah, no, and I agree, and I like the conditions too. I was just going to add. So the conditions coming out, we talked about a conditional 2027 third-round pick. It becomes a 2029 second-rounder if the Leafs make the playoffs and Maccelli gets at least 51 points in 25, 26. Like, I like the
Okay.
incentive part of it too.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And like the other thing I think about whenever they sign these guys or trade for these kinds of players that I like is a lot of times people will complain or be like, "Oh, wow, look, this guy is going to go in and he's going to get all these points, and then the Leafs aren't going to be able to pay for him next year. Who cares? If he comes in here and he lights it up and he gets a ton of points, it benefits the Leafs. Like, if the guy comes in here and he's hungry and he wants to prove it, yeah, maybe it all of a sudden brings whatever his next cap hit would be. As you said, he's an RFA, so maybe it is the Leafs who do it. Maybe he tries to go and find something elsewhere if the Leafs don't want to be the team to pay him. But like, it just raises his value. It's a good prove-it opportunity for him. He's going to get a good chance here playing with elite players. Like, again, you get a guy who can be hungry and can kind of show that stuff. I don't know. I'm happy with it. It doesn't, like, blur doors off. We're like, wow, what a move by Brad. But just a nice addition, I think.
Let the debate begin. Who wears the number 63 in Toronto this season? Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long-form interviews. We got clips. We got epic rants by Jay Roseau. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.